up YouTube, it's your boy Double M, and I'm coming back at you with another video. Now, if you didn't get it from whatever that was earlier, I'm gonna show you what I know. I'm gonna tell you what I know about color theory. Because recently, the way you've been coloring your art, or maybe you're just trying to upgrade your coloring, I don't know.
Why is color theory so important? It's important because as artists, that's how we bring the attention to not only our art, but to a specific spot in whatever drawing that we're making, whatever piece that we're making. It's like, so in a way, manipulating the attention. We're telling the person seeing our art what's important. With proper color theory, one can have the best iconography in telling a whole story just in one simple picture. Color theory is also important to know so that you know what not to do. Color theory is so powerful, it can make or break a scene. Ayo, but don't get discouraged though. Color theory is a powerful thing. You're a powerful artist if you know your color theory. But everything takes time. In this video, we're just gonna cover the basics. We're not gonna delve into complex things just yet. We're just gonna cover the basics, right? The basics. So before we do anything, before we uncover tips and tricks or whatever you think we're finna do, let's go through the colors first. You look at life, you look outside the window, you look outside wherever you are now. There's so many colors, like it can be overwhelming. But it's important to remember that all of these complex colors come from three primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. These are our primary colors. Now from our primary colors, we take any two of these primary colors and we mix them. We're gonna get a color that's known as our secondary color. From red and yellow, you get orange. From blue and yellow, you get green. From blue and red, you get violet. We're going through preschool once again. Now those are our secondary colors. To get our tertiary colors, we're gonna mix our primary with our secondary colors. If you mix red and orange, you're gonna get like a red-orange type thing. If you mix yellow and green, you're gonna get a yellow-green type thing. Blue and green, you're gonna get a more blue-green turquoise type thing. You get the idea. Now, following this trend, mixing the colors starting from the primary colors, you get what's known as the chromatic circle, or the color wheel, just known as a color wheel. I bet now that we have our color circle, let's dive into our color theory terminology, starting off with the hue. Now the hue is basically any position on the color circle. Now, yeah, hearing this for the first time, one could say the hue is basically the color. But no, the hue and the color are two different things, right? The hue is the position on the color wheel. Don't forget that. The hue and the color are two different things, and we're gonna go over that difference. The next thing to identify is chroma. Now, chroma is what makes the color its purest form. When a color has a lot of chroma, it has a lot of value, it has a lot of saturation. It's a bright, pure form of that color. Coincidentally, the next two terms are value and saturation. Now, say you have the color with the most chroma, right? The purest form of that color. If you add more black into it, if you mix more black into that color has less value. So the more black you add, the less value that color has. For saturation, if you mix more white into that color has less saturation. So the more white it has, the less saturated that color is. So that's for the terminology, right? Going back to our chromatic circle, our color wheel, we see so many colors, so many mixtures, so many possibilities. But out of this color wheel, each and every color only belongs to one out of two types of colors. We have cold and we have warm colors. The yellows, the oranges, the reds, and some of the pinks, they belong to the warm colors. These are more warm colors, right? And the blues, the greens, and some of the violets, they are our cool colors. Okay, so we have gone through our colors, our types of colors, and the terminology used in color theory. Before we go deeper into this color theory tutorial, I need y'all to do a few things. I need you to go down there and drop a like if you're enjoying the video so far. And while you're down there, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be part of the Double Empire. I really do appreciate it. I bet. Now we're gonna go through what's known as our color harmonies. These are different ways to use the different colors in whatever piece you create, also known as color schemes. Now, our first color scheme is the monochromatic color scheme, the monochromatic color harmony. In this color scheme, you're using the same hue but different colors of the same hue. This is where we go over that difference again of the hue and the color. Coming back to our terminology, you can have two different colors come from the same hue, because one color can be less saturated from another color which both come from the same hue. They're both coming from the same position on the color wheel. So in this monochromatic color scheme, you have different colors with different values in saturation, but they're all coming from the same position on their color wheel. You can generally tell this is a blue painting, an orange painting, a whatever painting. It's the main color. Most of the time with this color scheme, an accent color is added to it. This can be any other hue that isn't really used that much in the whole piece, but you can see small signs of it, or you can see a small sign of it. Now, the next color scheme is a complementary color scheme. This one is really well known. I think you might have heard of this one. It's a really powerful yet so simple color scheme, because you're using two different colors, two different hues, right, on the color wheel that are directly opposite from each other. Now, a very well-known complementary color scheme is green and red. Why this color scheme works so good is because these colors complement each other. Now, you can't have them complementing each other when they're both competing for attention in the piece. This is why you need one color that's the lead color in your piece, and the other color that's not really used as much as the other original lead color in your piece. So you're gonna have a generally green color with red complementing it somehow, or the opposite way. Even with other complementary colors, blue and orange, you're gonna have a generally blue piece with orange complementing it. Now, if you think about it, if you sit down and put everything aside and think about it nicely, right? Jumping back to our monochromatic color scheme, you could have the accent color in our monochromatic color scheme be a complementary color to the main color that is in the monochromatic color scheme, so that it's both a monochromatic and a complementary color scheme. Like that green skeleton right there. What's good? Now, the next and the final color scheme I want to do for this basic tutorial is the triad color scheme. You basically have three different positions on the color wheel that are equidistant to each other. Now, a very well-known and a very iconic triad color scheme is one that actually comes from the primary colors: blue, red, and yellow. You will see a lot of this color scheme in use, especially with the types of characters that you see on TV, you know, animated content, anime, Marvel, DC, all them type of characters. This color scheme is used a lot because it calls the most attention. If a triad color scheme is in use, most of the time it's gonna be that blue, red, and yellow, but it can be any three positions on the color wheel that are equidistant to each other. So we have gone through the different colors, the different types of colors, even the color schemes. Now let me leave you all with one tip to keep in mind when you're selecting these different colors to be using in your pieces, in your drawings, in whatever you are creating. Now this one tip relates to the chroma of the color, the purity of the color, how pure the color is. If you are using a really pure color in your piece, you really want to limit the use of that color in your piece. Because if you have majority of your piece having a lot of chroma, the color in that piece, all of the color or majority of the color in that piece have a lot of chroma, there's no place for the eyes to rest on that piece, right? So majority of that piece has to have the least chroma or very little chroma, and minority of that piece, whatever piece that you're creating, have to have a lot of chroma. It's an inverse relationship. The more chroma a color has, the less you're going to use it in that piece, and the less chroma a color has, the more you're going to use it in that piece. That's one way to bring the attention to one specific spot in your piece. If you have majority of your piece, right, having a lot of colors that have less chroma, and you have that one spot with the color that has more chroma, that one spot is going to pulled that attention. Going through all of that, now you can say you have the basic knowledge of color theory. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. I want to thank you for making it to the end of the video, right? If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to drop that like and hit that subscribe button. Once again, if you have not, to join, to be part of the Double Empire, make sure to check out my other videos, my other art tutorials, my art challenges, especially my outfit redraws, right? Make sure to check out more of my work, more of what I create on my Instagram and my Twitter. The links for those are waiting down in the description, right? God bless, and until next time, Double M out.